I'm wet, and I'm not talking a little bit wet. I'm wet through and through. There's not a square centimeter of me that isn't completely drenched. I was cycling up here in the mountains and saw dark clouds looming in the distance. Didn't think much of them, but they approached quickly, and soon I had a thunderstorm with torrential rain coming down. The worst of it is past. The lightning and the thunder have passed, but we're left with a pretty much constant drizzle. I'm by the shores of Nabe River right now, which you can see over here. And though I'm completely drenched, I've taken refuge in the only shelter I could find, which is a very small shelter for the river god here. There's a statue to a god that I can only assume is a river god, although it looks a little bit like Daikoku, I'm not really sure. But I've taken a little shelter just to keep my camera safe under the awning of this little place. Let me step back for a moment so you can give you a perspective. I'll step out into the rain for just a second. You can see here's the little place where I'm beside the mountain here, a little village, right next to the river. Now this particular god faces out towards the river, and this river, the Nabe River, is a notoriously dangerous river. In the past it's caused great deal of flooding and lost many lives here. So I think that this deity was established here to protect this little village from the river god, from the river itself. So anyway, the heck with it. I'm already soaking wet, so I'm not even going to bother to try and stay dry anymore. I'm going to get out and let's see if we can take some footage of some interesting wet scenes here in the mountains. There's just water everywhere, flowing, churning, falling. Look at this little structure here with the old wooden beam. Isn't that nice? One of the features on my new bike that I'm particularly fond of is the handy umbrella holder. Hands-free umbrella operation. Set it up, and I've got my umbrella up and keeping me dry. Problem is, I'm already wet. Oh well, at least it's keeping the camera dry. Ooh, that canyon looks promising. Let's go up there and take a look. See what we can find. Rain in the watermelon patch. Well, I just rescued a critter from that bus. One of the things you see out here in the hills in the rain are absolutely enormous, gigantic earthworms. And here's one right here. Look at the size of this thing. Whoa! This is not a leech. As some of you who watch my videos know, I'm fond of finding in the road. This is actually the giant leech's prey, the giant earthworm. And look at the size of this thing. Woohoo! I know my lens is all wet. And it was just there in the middle of the road, right where that tire mark where that bus would have gone. So hopefully I just got it out of the way in time. So we'll go ahead and put it down here in the garden. Make a nice place to help with the fertilizer there. Well, this was my destination for today. This is the Abikawa Nakakochi River, one of the first rivers I ever visited when I began exploring in Japan, and it's still one of my favorite places. The rain has let up considerably since earlier, so I'm still quite wet. The bike and I are in good shape still, and I think we're ready for a little lunch. A little late lunch, and then we're going to head on home. Clouds seem to be letting up a little bit, although there's still a light drizzle. Perfect weather for a nice downhill cruise back home. So until next time, thanks for visiting us here in the mountains of Japan. Take care.